of sun.
Where's the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Had it pause.
And on.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their heart, the merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles of Currens and Gallowglasses his supply. And fortune, on his damned coral smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak. For brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which near shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant soldier, worthy gentleman.
So as the sun kisses his reflection, shipwracking storms and direful thunders break. But in that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping currents to trust their heels. With the Dwayne Lord surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion.
Oh.
If I say sooth, how much more they were, as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell.
Oh!
But I am faint. Like ashes cry for help.
So will thy words become thee as thy wounds they smack of honor. Bolt, go, get him, surgeons. Who comes here?
What is this saying of Ross?
Hastens through his eyes, so should he look that seems to speak things strange. Our sage came
Whence camest thou, worthy thing?
from Fife, great king, where the Norwayan banners flout the sky and ban our people both. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, laughed in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness!
But now Sweno, the Norway's king, craves composition, nor will we deign him burial of his men till he disperse it at St. Column's Inch, $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present dead, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Right thee, witch, the rump and runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger, but in his ship all hither sail, like a rat without a tail. I'll do. I'll give thee a win, thou'rt kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very torch they blow, all the quarters that they know in the shipman's port. I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live, a man forbid. Weary set night
may come.
A drum! A drum! Macbeth.com!
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up mine. Peace! The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen. How far is called to for it? What are these?
It's a wizard. It's a wild in their attire. That look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are aught. Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glums!
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail, Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you be with present graces, great prediction of noble having in the royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favor nor your hate.
Hail! 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 Lesser than Macbeth, and greater, not so happy and yet much happier.
Thou shalt be king, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth! All hail!
Say, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Fennel's death, I know that I am Thane of Glum. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and every king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you. The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished? Into the air. What seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed. Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king. Thane of Cawdor too. Went it not so? To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. Silence to that, in viewing o'er the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwayan ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make, strange images of death. As thick as tail came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And, for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me, him, call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true? The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you trust me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrath, I know not, but treasons, capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glums and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them? That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you. 2 truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme.
I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
Chance will have me king. Why? Chance may crown me without my stir.
New honor has come upon him like our strange garments. Cleave not until their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what? Come may. Time and the hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me a favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced. And at the meantime, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done at Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the faith. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin! The sin of my ingratitude e'en now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to o'ertake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I've left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, who do but what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee and will labor to make thee full of growth. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee. Hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know, we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness to bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True noble Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed it is a banquet to me. Let's ask him, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is appearance, kinsman.
success. And I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood rapt in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King, that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst strongly win. Thou'dst have great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, wert so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than to make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by the all hail hereafter.
Oh.
Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. They're welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall, to all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his love mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle, where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, that air, death.
See, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
All our service, in every point twice done and then done double, with poor and single business, to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old, and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great blood, sharp as his spur, has helped him to his home before us, fair and noble hostess. We are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trample up the consequence and catch with his surcease success. That but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, will jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I'm his kinsman and his subject strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He is almost stopped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not. He
We
has.
will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? And wouldst thou have that which thou esteems the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting, I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat or the ass.
Prithee, peace! I dared you all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail!
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted mettle shall compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. 1, 2, 3.
How goes the night, boy?
Moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12?
I takes 'tis later, sir.
Oh, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that, too. Heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrained in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diadem he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
No, all's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spin it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
Oh, at your kind's leisure.
If you shall plead to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear, I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
The like, sir, the like to you.
So may thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? Handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. How marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made of fools or the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one-half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder alarumed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Assure, firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Special effects. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace, it was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman which gives the sternst good night, he is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What hope?
Alack, I'm afraid they've awaked, and 'tis not done, the attempt, and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid the daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Why?
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
You're foolish thought to say sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder as they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fears, I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that midst of the ravel, sleep of care. The death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds. Great nature's second course. Chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried sick no more to all the house. Bloms hath murdered sleep. And therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why have you brought these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think on what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? When hands are here? Ah, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas and Carnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy had left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and come show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, but best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking! I would thou couldst!
Here's the knocking indeed. If a man were boarded at Hellgate, he should have all turned the key. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged herself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Oh, knock, knock. Who's there? Oh! Oh, the devil's name! Faith, here's an equivocator that can swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason, enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come some inequivocator. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Hey, here's English. Taylor, come hither. For stealing out of a French house. Come in, Taylor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, very quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it. No further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Ah, thanks, sir. We were carousing until the second cock. And drink, sir, it is a great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir. Nose painting, sleep, and urine. Luxury, sir. It provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with luxury. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him up. It persuades him. And disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him to a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. Oh, he was very proud of me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for it, although he did tickle my legs sometime, yeah, I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Tomorrow, boat.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pay. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were all blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air.
Strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird, it clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh! Horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke off the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What dost you say? The life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep. Death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image. Malcolm and Banquo, as from your graves, rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell! What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak! Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Ho! Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered. Whoa! Alas! What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there was nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees has left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with.
Oh, yet I do repent me in my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in the moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs look like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love's known?
Help me, Hansel! Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for ours.
What should be spoken here? Where our fate hid, in an auger hole may rush and seize us. Let's away. Tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So
let's briefly put our manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separate fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. Near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which seals itself when there's no mercy left.
natural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
It said they ate each other.
They did so! Oh, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is to know who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, have stolen and fled, putting upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition, that will raven up thine own lives' means. And 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardians of their bone.
Were you just going?
No, cousin, out to fight.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's medicine go with you, and with those that would make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet, it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities of thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope. Hush, no more!
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gas in our great feast, and all things under the covering.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Oh, let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. As far you ride.
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse, the better I shall become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feet.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when, therewithal, we shall have cause of state craving us joint. Hie you to horse. Adieu. You return at night. Goes fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord. Our time is called upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. While then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares. To that dauntless temper of his mind, he hath the wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him, Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand. No son of mine succeeding. If't be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. Put rancors in the vessels of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance.
Who's there?
Now, go to the door. Stay there till we call. Was not yesterday we spoke together?
It was.
So please, your highness.
Well then. Now, have you considered of my speeches? Know you that it was he that in times past, which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self? This I made good to you in our last conference. Passed in probation with you. How you were born at hand. How crossed. The instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul, and to a notion crazed, say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
In the catalogue ye go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are all clept by the name of dogs. The value file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter. Everyone according to that gift which bounteous nature hath in him clothes, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike, and so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, and grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless. What I do to spite the world.
And I another. So weary with disasters, tugged with fortune that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I must not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And since it is to your assistance I do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirit shine through you. Within this hour, at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on't, for must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought I require a clearness, and with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are.
Resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if to find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Not had all spent when our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died within they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. So close and be yourself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of a former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams and make our faces visage to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowst, Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. And be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill, so prithee, go with me.
Who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth. He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs willing to travel our pace to gain the timely and near approach is the subject of our watch.
Hark! Your horses.
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
These horses go about?
Almost a mile, but as usually so all men do from hence to the palace gate to make their walk.
A light! A light is he!
Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Who did strike out the light?
Was not the way?
There's the one down, the sun is fled. We've lost Beth
You know your own degrees. Sit down. That person last a hearty welcome.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart states. Both sides are even. Now here I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon will drink and measure the table round. What's what upon my face?
It's just Banquo, son.
It's better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. I did that for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. If thou didst, thou art a non-pariah.
Those royals, sir. Fleets escaped.
Come to my feet again. Ideal's been perfect. Whole as a marble, founded as a rock, as broad and general as a casing air, but now I'm cabined, crim, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. Banquo said,
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes in his head and the least of death to nature.
thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched for, 'tis a making, 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home, from thence the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now, good digestion, wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
And now we had our country's honored roofs, with the grace person of our Banquo present, whom I'd rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake that gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends, my lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. I pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you sent led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and skunks, imposters. To true fear would well become a woman's story in a winter's fire, authorized by her granddam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces when all's done you look but on a stool?
Prithee, see there! Behold! Look, lo, how say you? Why, what care I? If thou canst nod, speak too! In charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back. Our monuments shall be the laws of time.
What? Quite a man who's folly.
If I stand here, I saw him.
Aye, for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden times, ere humane statue purged the gentle wheel, aye, and since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when a man's brains were out, that man would die and there an end. But now they rise again. with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and pushes from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those who know me. Come, health and love to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full! I drink to the general joy of the whole table. To our dear friend Bakewell, whom we miss, would he were here. To all, in him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt, and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee. Thy blood is cold, thy bones are marrowless. Thou hast no speculation of those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Aye, what men dare, I dare. Approach there like a rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros or the hurricane tiger. Take any shape with that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble, or be alive again. And dare me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inherit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence! Being gone, I am a man again. Pray you stand still.
You have displaced the mirth. Good reading with most admired disorder.
And such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder. You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine are blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him at once. Good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better call the chambers, Majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies and choughs and rooks brought forth the secrets, man, of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in whose house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know the worst means the worst. For mine own good, all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far, but should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, that must be acted or they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. Myself and strange abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Intermission.
noble babe. How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our art. And which is what all you have done has been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, nothing. But make it end now. Get your gun, and at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I will spend unto a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought therein. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous copper cloud, ere it come to ground, and that, distilled by magic's light, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Come away, Hackett! Hackett!
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret farther. Only I say, things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if it please you, fleance killed for fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, as in heaven he shall not, they should find what 'twere to kill a father. So should fleance. But peace, for from broad words, and cause he failed his presence at a tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds a due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace, the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither, Macduff is gone to pray to the Holy King upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike Seward, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may once again give to our tables meat, Sleep to our knights, free our feasts and banquets from bloody knives, do faithful hands and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report has so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, with an absolute, sir, not I. The cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
And that well might advise him to a caution to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he return, that a swift blessing may soon be brought upon our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with them.
Thrice the printed cat hath mewed. Thrice and once the head big whined.
Harpy your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31 sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a finny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, will of bat, and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's lay, and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, the mind gulf of the robin, salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark, finger of first strangled babe, dish delivered by a dram, makes our gruel thick as lamb. Add thereto a tiger children, for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share in the games. And now, about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
Round, go, 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 round. All it'll come running in and in. All it'll come running in and in. All good. All good.
How now, you secret black and midnight hands? What is you do?
I deem not that
I conjure you by that which you profess. How are you come to know it? Answer me. Will you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches? Though yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do bend their heads to their foundations, Though the treasure of nature's Germans tumbled all together, even till destruction sickened. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak, demand! Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Come, let me see it.
For in Saul's blood that hath eaten her nine barrel. Grease, that sweating from the murder's gibbet thrown into the flame. Come high or low, thyself and office deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Yea, his speech would say thou not.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fire! Dismiss me! Enough!
Where thou art, for thy good conscience thinks that heart might be right, but one word more!
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth! 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 Had I 3 years, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody bold and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff! What need I fear of thee? But I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted feared lies and sleep in spite of thunder. But what is this? It rises like the issue of a king, and on his baby brow wears a round and top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it. Speak, lion-mettled, proud. Take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspires are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, till great Burnham wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfit to dark-bound roots. Sweet boatman's good. Rebellious dead rise never till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to mortal time and custom. And yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me that your art can tell so much. Will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, an eternal curse fall upon you. Let me know.
Show!
Show! Show!
Show his eyes and grievous heart! Come like shadows, so depart!
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down, thy crown doth sear mine eyeballs. And thy hair, the other gold-bound brow was like the first, the third is like the former. Filthy hands, why do you show me this? A fourth, starred eyes. What? With a line stretched out to the crack of doom. Another yet, I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears, who shows me many more. And some with twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! For now I see 'tis true, for the blood bolter Banquo smiles at me and points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so. Why stands Macbeth so amazingly? Come, sisters, let's cheer up his strength and give the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duty
pernicious hour stand I accursed on the calendar. Come in, without there.
What's your grace's will?
Are you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Can they not buy you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those who trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits, for thy flighty purpose was ne'er o'ertook unless a deed go without it. From this moment, the very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done, the castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife. Give the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. Now boasting like a fool, this deed I'll do before his purpose cool. But no more sights! Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom! To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in the place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom when the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cause, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I leave with you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things, at the worst, will cease. And I'll climb upward to what they were before. And pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless.
So much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou'dst never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speaks with all thy wit. And yet, in faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Must they all be hanged with swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat honest men and hang up them.
How God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm! I remember now. I am in this earthly world. Oh, to do harm is often laudable. To do good, sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces? Where is your husband? I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him. He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shattered villain!
What? You egg? Young fry.
He has killed me, mother! Run away from you!
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new mourn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no, believe. And what I can redress as I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me and wisdom, to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright, still though the brightest fell, though all things foul, would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strung knots of love without leave-taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be our dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed! Bleed, poor country! Great tyranny, lay thou thy basest shore, for goodness dare not check thee where thou thy wrong. The title is a fear. Fare thee well, Lord, I would not be the villain that thou thinkst for all the space that's in the tyrant's grasp and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from gracious England, have we offer of goodly thousands. But, for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, or suffer, and more sundry ways than ever. By him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless arm.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned and evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name, but there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust. And my desire, all continent impediments would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such an one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. Yet, fear not to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for woe.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer's seeming lust. It hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet fear not to take upon you what is yours. You may fill up the will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I've spoken.
Fit to govern?
No,
not to live. Oh, nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptered, when wilt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed? Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee oftener upon her knees than on her feet died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine, my poor country's to command. Whether indeed, before thy year approach, old Seward, with 10,000 warlike men already at a point, was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once is hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you.
Aye, sir. A crew of wretched souls that stay there insecure. Their malady convinces the great assay of art. But at his touch, such sanctity hath heaven given his hand, may presently amend.
I thank you, doctor.
What does these mean?
It's called the evil, a most miraculous work, and this good king, which often since my hero-men in England I have seen him do, how he solicits, heaven himself best knows, but strangely visited people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye. The mere despair of surgery he cures, hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and 'tis spoken, to the succeeding royalty he leaves the healing benediction. With this strange virtue he hath the heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace.
See who comes here. My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
Stand Scotland where it did. Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave. For nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rent the air are made, not marked. Where violent sorrow seems as modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying ere they sicken.
Oh, her relation, too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker, each minute seems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant hath not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech, how goes?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good sword and 10,000 men, and all there in a better soldier, none that Christendom gives out.
But I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
Well, what concern they? The general cause, or is it a feat grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe. For the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. I guess at it. Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner on the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven! What, man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too. Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, how can I? Oh! Oh, my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop!
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macbeth, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerit, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length, set him, and if he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went to the field, I've seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write a poem, read it, record, seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in the most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. She comes. My guys out upon my mind, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Wait, stood by her. She has left her continually, 'tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sets are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action, sir, to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her continue this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark! She speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out! Damned spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why, then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. 5, my lord, 5. A soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yes, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
Sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart of my bosom for the dignity of whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Led on by Malcolm, his Uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them for their dear causes, which are the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way they are coming.
Who knows if Donald Bane be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry there is Seward's son, along with many unbrought youths that can now protest their thirst of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him. Do call it valiant fury, but for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause from the belt of rule.
Now, does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands? Now, minutely revolts, upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish feet.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there? Well, march we on to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we with the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with them pour we on our country's purge. Each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham would remove the Dunsinane I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy? Malcolm! Was he not born of woman? The spirits of no immortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly false things, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee, black, thou cream-faced loon. Where gotst thou goose look?
There are 10,000
geese, villain!
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death on thy soul. Those linen cheeks are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This bush will cheer me ever, and would sink me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sear, a yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead curses, not loud, but deep, mouthful, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Satan, I say!
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
I'll confirm, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Bring me mine armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
Now put it on! Send out more horses. Skirt the country round. Hang those that talk of here. Give me my armor. How is your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not, doctor, minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from her memory a root in sorrow. Raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom with that peerless stuff that weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
No physic to the dogs, now none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, the Thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch! If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, purge her disease, and purge it to a pure and pristine health I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull off, I say! Here's some of these English. Here's some of them. What drug, what sinner would scour them hence?
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparations make us hear something.
Bring it after me. I'll not be afraid of death in vain. The Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing. What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery ere in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
This is main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, but certain issues gross must arbitrate, towards which advance the war!
Hang out our banners on the outward walls, the cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. There let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It's a cry of women, my good lord!
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. My fell of hair would at dismal trees rouse and stir as if life were it. I have supped full with horrors. Dionysus familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, the lord is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out! Out! Brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Comes to use thy tongue, my story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the ward began to move. Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
If thy speaks false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane, and now a wood moves toward Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which she advances to appear, there is no flying hence nor tearing here. Again, to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind! Come wreck! At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now! Your leaky screams throw down and show like those you are! You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. We but find the tyrant's power tonight. Let us be beaten if we cannot fight!
Let all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly but bear like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one I am to fear or not.
What is thy name?
Not be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou call'st thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorred tyrant! With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is! Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou beest slain and by no stroke of mine, my wife and child's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbettered edge I sheathe again undeeded. That way the noise is. Fortune, let me find him, and more I beg not.
gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us. Would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man he died.
Then he is dead?
Aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. If I had as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish them a fairer death. And so is Nell is Nold.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his sore. So God be with him. Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon my own sword, whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them?
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloody villain, and terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the entrenching air with thy keen sword as pressed as make me bleed. Let thy blade fall on vulnerable crests. I bear a charm in life that must not yield to one that's of a woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely wrecked.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. When me these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, and keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I will not fight with thee.
Then yield, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are,
Painted upon a pole, and there underwrit, here you may see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with a rabble's curse. Burn the water, move to Dunsinane. Thou opposed, being of no woman born, I'll try the last. Lay on, Macduff. Dan be him who first cries, hold! Enough!
whose salutation they repeat in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves. and make us even with you, my thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the watchful snares of tyranny, in producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all, at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.